Imagine you own a racehorse worth $10 million. One bad tendon injury, and its career is over. Every week it isn't racing costs thousands of dollars. Now imagine someone tells you there's a peptide that might help damaged tissue recover faster. Would you try it? For decades, some people did. That's how TB500 became famous. Not because doctors prescribed it, not because it was approved medicine, but because the racing world couldn't stop talking about it. So, what exactly is TB500? Why did it become so popular with elite racehorses? And why is it now one of the most discussed peptides among athletes and biohackers? The story actually begins inside your own body, and with a researcher named Alan Goldstein. In the 1960s, Goldstein was studying the thymus, a small gland in your chest. His team discovered a family of molecules they named thymosins. One of them, thymosin beta 4, turned out to be almost everywhere. Your muscles, your skin, your heart, your blood vessels. And here's the interesting part. When you're injured, levels of thymosin beta 4 naturally rise around the damaged tissue. It appeared to help cells move into the injured area, almost like calling emergency crews to the scene of an accident. Not rebuilding the tissue itself, but helping coordinate the repair. Researchers became fascinated. At the National Institutes of Health, a scientist named Heinda Kleinman, working with Goldstein, dug into what this molecule could do. In laboratory studies, thymosin beta 4 appeared to encourage new blood vessel growth, reduce inflammation, support wound healing, and help damaged tissue recover. That raised another question. Could a smaller piece of this protein do something similar? So researchers built TB500, a synthetic peptide based on the active tissue repair region of thymosin beta 4. It wasn't identical, but it was designed to imitate some of its biological activity. Then came the horses. Racehorses put enormous stress on their tendons and ligaments. Tiny injuries can become career-ending ones. Veterinarians and researchers began asking whether peptides related to thymosin beta 4 might support healing. Stories spread quickly. Some horses recovered faster. Some trainers became believers. Soon, TB500 had an almost mythical reputation. But here's something important. Stories are not scientific evidence, no matter how many people repeat them. Now, the laboratory research has produced some genuinely interesting results. Animal studies suggest thymosin beta 4 may help wounds heal. It may reduce inflammation. It may encourage the growth of new blood vessels. Some studies even suggest protective effects in the heart after injury. Researchers have looked at its role in the eye, the nervous system, and damaged muscle. That's exciting science, but it doesn't automatically tell us what happens in humans. And that's where the story changes. If you search for TB500 online, you'll find people claiming it repairs nearly everything. Muscles, ligaments, tendons, bones, even organs. Those are extraordinary claims. And extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Right now, large, high-quality human clinical trials simply don't exist. Most of what we know comes from laboratory research, animal studies, and individual reports. Those are useful places to begin. They are not enough to prove a treatment works. There's also a common mix-up. Many people think TB500 and thymosin beta 4 are exactly the same thing. They're not. Thymosin beta 4 is the natural protein your body already makes. TB500 is a synthetic peptide designed to mimic part of its activity. Scientists are still working out how closely the two actually behave. That distinction tends to vanish online, but it matters, especially when you're talking about medical research. Today, TB500 remains an experimental peptide. It has not been approved by major regulators like the United States Food and Drug Administration or Health Canada for general medical use. Researchers are still chasing basic questions. Does it work in humans? What dose is safest? What happens after years of use? Could there be unexpected side effects? Until those questions are answered, nobody honestly knows. Athletes have certainly noticed. The World Anti-Doping Agency bans TB500 and thymosin beta 4 at all times. They sit in the category for growth factors that may affect healing and recovery. That doesn't prove they boost performance in a healthy body. It means sporting authorities believe the science deserves caution while the research continues. So, is TB500 one of the most exciting healing peptides ever discovered? Or one of the biggest examples of internet hype? The honest answer is, it may be both. The biology is fascinating. The laboratory evidence is promising. But medicine has a long history of discoveries that looked incredible in animals and failed when they were finally tested in people. That's why good science moves carefully. So the next time someone tells you TB500 is a miracle or insists it's completely useless, remember this: science rarely deals in certainty, especially when the studies are still unfolding. Right now, TB500 lives in the space between possibility and proof, between hope and evidence. And it's not alone. It sits beside another famous healing peptide, BPC-157, in that same uncertain space, which points to a bigger question, doesn't it? Your body clearly knows how to repair itself. So what actually decides how fast it heals and whether we can safely speed it up? That's the story we'll open up next. Thanks for watching Brainstorm Bob. If this made you think, hit subscribe for more curiosity, ideas, and real answers. See you in the next one.